Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity. I always say to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market. But let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX. Let me fix that. Yeah. So we're looking at the VIX, and as you can see, this is our zone, right? So we have support was marked here at 1563, resistance around 1580, and that is the area that we're still trading in with the VIX. So I always say, where are the trouble places, right? It will need to break above 1580. If we break that level 1585, if we should break that, we could possibly have trouble at this ATR trailing stop, which is a previous resistance level that we had marked at $16 or 1601. Yeah, I would definitely watch this area, 1601, 1603. If we break that, we can come back to the 1610, again at 1618, and at 1642. Now, if we break the 1642, 1654, 1668, and this 200 EMA at 1665, right? So those are going to be trouble places to the upside for the VIX, and to the downside, if by chance right now we're having trouble under the 5 EMA. So if we should continue down, the downside trouble areas is what I like to say is around 1563. If we should break that 1563, we can come back and retest 1548. Under 1548, we can come back to 1532, and then under 1532, 1527. Those are places for the VIX that I would definitely watch to the upside and to the downside. And again, the reason that we look at the VIX is because it kind of gives an idea of what's going on with the SPY. And as you can see, we're now looking at the SPY. SPY has just, I'm going to get this off. Yes. SPY has been trading in this zone. And it's interesting that we've been really in this area of, this is our support area here around 570.32. As you can see, this is where price has been in this zone. And our resistance area was here at this 571.20. It looks like we broke a little bit past that, only to, a 20 cents difference, right? So in my opinion, we're still struggling in this area. So is the SPY setting us up for a move back to the upside, continuing to the upside, or trouble in this area back to the downside? That's something to be mindful of, right? So I would definitely watch to the upside. It needs to break above 720 and make a new high. It needs to break above, 571. Did I say 7? It needs to break above 571.20. Please forgive me. 571.20 and make a new high. 571.40, make a new high, and continue climbing in order for me to have confirmation that it is moving to the upside. Now, to the downside, if by chance we're continuing to move to the downside, it will lose support here at 571.05, which is not far from this 5 EMA at 571, and we'll come back to the area around 570.77. If we lose that area, we'll come back to 570.68, which is right here where this 570.65, right where the 20 EMA is here, which is interesting, right? We had that level marked, and that's our support area. So if we should break that area, just know that we can come back to this area of the 50 EMA around 570.47, under that 570.33, under the 570.33 or 35 area. Just know, that we could very well find support, let's say, around this area of 570.02. Now, if we break the 570.02, we can have trouble here at 569.73, and that's right where the ATR trailing stop is at 569.65. So now breaking the 569.65 area can bring us back to the 200 EMA on this 30-minute chart around 568.80. That's going to be interesting, right? And which we have 568.69 marked as a support area. So if you trade the SPY today, just know that it is trading within a zone, as I like to say. So trade carefully, right? Wait on confirmation. And once it goes against your why, I say that often, get out. And I always say in the market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. Let's say that. So let's look at AMD today just to see where we are. As of now, AMD it looks as if we had some trouble around this 158.23. We closed at 158.32. So it too, to me, it seems to be trading in this zone area, right? So support is here at 157.60. Resistance is right here at 158.23. Now, where are the trouble places? That's what I like to see, right? So to the upside. If by chance we break above 158.23, just know we can have trouble around 158. That's 158.57 or 158.50. If we should break that area, 158.70. Beyond 158.70, we can have trouble around the 158.99 or the 159.18 area. That's going to be a trouble place for AMD. Now, if we break the 159.18, we can have trouble around 159.52 and again at 159.84. Those are going to be trouble places to the upside for AMD. Now, to the downside, if by chance we break under 157.31, we could possibly find support at 156.99. If we lose that area, we can find support at 156.75, which is right where the ATR trail and stop is. So I would definitely watch that level. Now, if we should break that 156.75 area, just know we can come back down to this area of 156.18. Under the 156.18, 155.54, 155.12, and 154.84, which is right. That's a lot of support, in my opinion. We have two levels of lines of support here and this 200 EMA. So I will watch AMD under 154.81. I would set an alert here at 154.81 just to let me know that we have broken through a few layers of support is what I like to say, because that is kind of like just dropping down under support. So yeah, those are places to the upside and to the downside that I would watch for AMD, y'all. I always say in the market, anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. And again, I like to look at support and resistance on a much smaller scale because I want to know where I'm going to have trouble at, right? So, not saying that I don't look at it on a bigger scale. I just like to break it down on a smaller scale so that I can see where my trouble places are, right? So we are now looking at NVDA, and NVDA is not surprising at this move, y'all. I wanted to point out how we created a gathering spot here, right? So it actually broke out of the gathering spot with this move here. That's why it's so important to locate your gathering spots, right? And then you move beyond that place. So here, this candle, we bounced off the support that we had marked from yesterday at 115.38. We bounced off of that. The low of this candle was 115. Let's see, 115.38. It came down exactly where we thought it could, and it did, and it bounced only to move higher. And you see how we have that little pivot with the MACD. That was a signal for us to the upside for NVIDIA. So I looked at that and I was like, that was a strong move to the upside. We got rejected here at this area of 121.51. It seems like the high of this candle was 121.62. So we got rejected on this area only to trade sideways for a while. That was our trouble place. Well, it looks as if we broke that at 121.88 only to come back down, right? So where are the trouble places for NVIDIA? That's what's important as of right now. I just wanted to point out how it moved on yesterday and how it broke out of the gathering spot. So as of right now, our trouble places for NVIDIA, it needs to stay above this 121.49 or 121.45 area. We could possibly have trouble around 121.75, again at 122.11, 122.28, 122.64. Those are areas that we could possibly have trouble for NVIDIA. If we break the 122.64, just know we can have trouble at 122.87. Now, if we break the 122.87, we can have trouble around 123.78, again at 124.41. Those are places to the upside that I will watch for NVIDIA to have trouble resistance ahead, right? So now, if we break the 124.41, just know 124.95 could possibly be a trouble place for NVIDIA. Now let's look to the downside, because we came down and we found support here at this 118.77 area. So I would definitely watch this area as an area of support. If by chance we come back to the downside, the trouble places to the downside are 120.89, 120.79, which is really, really close. And then we have 120.62, which is right where this 20 EMA is. If we break this level, just know 120.22, again 120.05, 119.96, which is really close to that one. However, if we break that 119.96 area, just know 119.78 is going to be a trouble place for us. And if we break the 119.78, it brings us really close to this ATR trail and stop at 119.57. Under the 119.57, we have the 50 EMA that's here at 119.37. Under that, we can have trouble, which could be a support place at 119.17. So those are places to the upside or to the downside that I would watch for NVIDIA. Again, I look at support and resistance on a much smaller scale so that it helps me when I'm in the trade. Again, we can go to the higher time frames and use the moving averages and things like that to help us with support and resistance. I always say mark your gathering spots, the high and the low, because it's strong possibility that we're going to come back to that area. Not to say when, and I need to say again that in the market anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. Let me say that one more time. Nothing is guaranteed, right? So again, we're back at the SPY. We're still trading in this zone. I would definitely watch this area. So yeah, y'all, I hope these videos are very, very helpful. I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very productive day. And once it goes against your why, get out. The reason that you got in, once it goes against that, make sure you're willing to get out and live to trade another day. So if you could, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Why? Because we learn and we grow together. So I always like to leave you with this: be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.